You see, knowing the will of God is very easy, but doing the will of God is where the challenge is. That's why a lot of people cannot dispute that they know the will of God, but coming to do it is a challenge. So some people have found out what God wants them to do, but the pain, the sacrifice, the losses they will make, the pleasure they will have to sacrifice, the kind of ambitions they will have to let go for the will of God to happen in their life, it is too costly for them to let go. Knowing the will of God and not doing the will of God is like you are tempting God to go and ask God about his plan for your life, only to turn back against God, as if God has not spoken, as if God is a joker. They go to find out what the will of God is for their life, for their marriage, for their ministry. Especially when it comes to marital issue, people are quick to say, I want the will of God, I want to know the will of God. Most believers, clamor for the will of God, but when God showed them what is will for them in the person of their spouse, when he shows to them, they turn. And for some of us who are already married, whom by God's grace we are in the will of God for our marriage, we struggled with it. I will lie to you if I tell you that what God showed me about my marriage or who my spouse is was so easy for me to embrace. It wasn't. And the same thing for my spouse. She didn't want to marry a pastor. Myself, I didn't want to marry somebody who was not ministry materials at that time, according to my measure. And of course, we only know what we see now. We don't see the future. God was on his own when you started asking him for his will. Do you know there are believers who are even scared of asking God for his will concerning their lives now, because they have heard stories and testimonies of how God disappoints people when it comes to him showing you his will. A lot of people have been disappointed because when you run to God, you went with an idol.